Hi, I'm Justine Rintoul. Welcome to this Yin Yoga class for hips and lower back. So in this class, we're going to get into the external rotation of the hips, internal hip flexors, and a little bit of lower back. And the aim is to help support the range of motion in your hips, as well as increase circulation and reduce any tension that you're holding in the hips. The props that you'll need for this class are a block if your hips are particularly tight for your double pigeon, maybe a blanket. If your knees are tender, we're going to do a dragon pose, and you may not like to place the blanket under your knees, and a bolster just for extra support in some of the poses. Okay, so let's get started. So come to a comfortable seat and just close your eyes. Take a moment to allow yourself to arrive, just setting your intention for the day, setting your intention for the class. Feel the earth beneath you. And I'd like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of this land, earth, waterways. Pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. So taking a deep inhale, let yourself sense the earth beneath you, allow the bones to relax down into the floor. Maybe take a slight extension up out of the waist. Shoulders relax away from your ears. Take another deep breath in. Just observing the body, observing the interior space. Noticing where you hold any unnecessary tension or tightness. It could be the belly, the shoulders, the jaw. Not trying to change anything, just observing. Good. And the first pose we'll come into is a butterfly pose. So we'll do a loose seated butterfly. So just taking your feet out in front of you and make a loose sort of diamond shape. Now the soles of the feet are touching. If you feel tight, if you feel like you're collapsing in the lower back, then you may need a blanket underneath you, but otherwise just sitting up, and you're going to round the back to come forward. Now another option here is taking your bolster and placing in front of you, which is a nice thing to do. Sliding your hands underneath the calf muscles and just allowing the head to come down, come forward and relax. Softening the face muscles, softening the back muscles. You can breathe into the lower back here. It's a nice lower back stretch. Good, and very, very slowly start to think about moving and then turning the palms over so you're making contact with the earth, and just push the floor away. Take your time to come up, head coming up last. Good. All right. Now, remembering the principles of Yin Yoga, we let the muscles relax in the pose. And as we move between the poses, we move really slowly. So the transitions are slow and gentle as well. We're going to come into a pigeon now. So we're going to come into, or sleeping swan as it's known in Yin. So the right knee comes up behind the right wrist. And let the left hip just sink down towards the earth. Now again, there's an option to use your bolster. I think it's a nice option to have, just, or a pillow, drag it underneath the belly. And then you can slowly come forward onto your bolster. You're getting a nice external, working into an external rotation in that right hip. And the left hip flexor is getting a little stretch out as it moves towards the earth.
Yeah.
Soften and relax your face here. See if you can just focus on your breath, focusing on the space between the inhale and the exhale. Good, and then very slowly and gently, take your time. Push the floor away from you. Take a moment, take a breath. As you bring your head up, your shoulders and hips are square to the front of the mat. Just move your bolster to the side. And from here, we're going to come up into a dragon pose. So I'm on the left knee, and when you're ready, the right knee comes up so that your knee is on top of the right ankle. We're just coming into our dragon. So we're going a little bit deeper now into that left hip flexor. And there's options for holding this pose. You might like to just stay there or with the hands on the floor, or you might like to come up onto the knee. So just doing what's comfortable, gaze of the head or choosing a point of focus down on the floor, letting your hips sink down, lifting up through the heart space slightly, and then just softening and breathing. We're moving down the right side of the body first with these stretches, so you might observe a difference in the two sides of the body. And we're going to cover all the different directions of the hips, so the internal rotation, external, hip flexors, to hopefully improve the range of motion in the hips and also increase circulation. And the challenge is just to breathe, send the breath directly into any area that feels tight or a little bit uncomfortable. Four more very slow, deep breaths here. Slow, deep and long breaths. Full inhales and exhales. Good, and then very slowly when you're ready, send your hips back, come onto the heels, and just take a little forward and back action here, just stretching out through your hamstrings. Slowly forward and back. Good, maybe even just a little fold over the knee. Take a moment with your chin into the chest, take a breath. Good, and then when you're ready, release that, come down, and we're going to take our fire log pose with the right ankle over the left knee. Now this is where you may need a block or a blanket under your knee. So or a cushion, yeah, great. So taking that position, with this external rotation in the hip now, sitting up, taking a breath, and when you're ready, you can come forward over the legs. So taking your time, keeping the sit bones anchored, breathing into the outside edges of the hips, and slowly and gently, it might just be here today, just see wherever you come forward to, but just letting the chin come into the chest. You can round the spine, Just taking that time to breathe into that outside edge of the hips, especially the right hip. Coming forward and relaxing here. Keep breathing into the outside edges of the hips. Good, and very slowly and gently, take your time, push yourself up. Take a second once you come up just to notice the rebound effect of the blood moving around. Then take your hands behind you, unravel your legs, and take a little windshield wiper, just stretching side to side. Now, you're probably going to be feeling it more in the right glute, the right side. Body's going to feel different to the left. Okay, so let's even it out the other side. So come back to all fours, make your way onto all fours. When you're ready, left knee comes up behind the left wrist this time into your sleeping swan. Grabbing your support, your bolster or your cushion, pillow, slide it underneath you and very gently take your time to just relax over that support. Focusing here on the breath, so just noticing where the inhale and the exhale take place, maybe taking a little pause between the inhale and the exhale. Slow, smooth breaths. Well done. And just gently push the floor away. Take your time to come up. Take a nice deep breath here. Move the bolster or support to one side. And when you're ready, we'll come into our dragon pose. So I'm going to bring the right knee up slightly to get myself into dragon. The left knee comes forward between the hands. And then we just find that position where our left knee is on top of the left ankle. We sink our hips forward, getting that nice hip flexor stretch on the right side. And then choosing your position, either with the hands down on the floor or coming up onto the knee. Gaze is forward, shoulders and hips are square to the front of the mat, and then soften into it. Remember just to keep reminding yourself and reminding that upper back to relax. So the upper back's relaxed, the shoulders are away from the ears. And come back to the breath, come back to the body. So we can hold a lot of emotions in the hip. So if feelings arise, just watch them arise and then notice that they dissipate just as quickly as they arrive. Well, they can. Notice your thoughts and just being kind to yourself with the thoughts that you have. The longer you hold it, the more you're going to feel that into that right hip flexor. So just breathe into that space. Well done. And slowly release. Take your time to move in slow motion, sending those hips back, coming up onto that left heel, maybe holding there or maybe moving forward and back a little bit. Just taking your time. I forgot to say you can put padding under that right knee. Sometimes that pose can be strong on the right knee. Good, and then gently release. Come down to a seat and we'll take our double pigeon on the other side. So again, you may need support if you're tight under this block or a bolster under that left leg. It kind of looks like that. Or if it's too much having the ankle on the knee, you can just have it in front. So come to that spot that feels comfortable. It might feel tight, but as long as there's no pain. Take a breath and then slowly come forward. Just let the head go. Breathe into the outside edges of the hips, especially the left hip here.
Soften the neck as you bring the chin into the chest. Remembering your principles of yin to find the position of where the resistance is. Where you hit that point of resistance as you come forward, just stop and breathe, softening and holding there. Well done, and very slowly. Take your time, come up, take a breath. And we'll just gently unravel here, so hands behind the back. Release your legs. Windshield wiper just side to side. Good, and then we'll come now into a pose for more internal rotation of the hips. It's called a deer pose, and again, there's variations that we can take depending on the flexibility. So the shin, we'll start with our left shin across the front of the mat. The right shin is in line with the side of the mat. So that is your deer pose. You then lean back. We won't hold this for too long. Now, depending, some people can lie, plants in the way, can lie all on their back. Depends on that rotation of your hips, or you might just be up here on the elbows. That's totally fine. Just taking whatever feels comfortable and not forcing anything. Just breathing into those hips. Getting that internal rotation through that right hip. Don't worry about how far down you come. A lot of this can depend on your bone structure. Even if you're just feeling it a little bit, that's totally fine. But we do a lot of external rotation, so I just wanted to add that internal rotation. Good, and then very gently, we're not going to hold this one for too long, so take your time to come up, and let's swap over to the other side. So the right shin level with the front of the mat, the left with the back. Take your time when you're ready, lying backwards. Feeling that stretch, you're going to feel it on the left thigh, Well done. And slowly and gently think about coming up as you take your time to come up out of the pose and bring your leg around. Right, just take a moment, take a seat, just notice any rebound effect in the hips, notice how you're feeling. And we're going to move now more into the lower back as well. So take your right leg out to the right, left leg into the groin. Again, sitting on a blanket if you feel you're tight there, or if you're sinking back, then that's a sign that you need to sit up on a blanket. Options here, you could take a bolster, a block next to your knee, or you can just slide your right hand down beside the knee. And we're going to bring this left arm up and over. Breathe into the side body. You're going to feel this into the lower left back. You may like to bend that elbow and just place the hand on the head so that your joint's not sort of hanging there. Take a deep breath, keep grounding and anchoring into your left sit bone, and then breathe into the lower back. This is a really good stretch, especially if you sit a lot or drive or sit at a desk. Deep breathing into the space between the top of the left hip and the bottom of the left rib. Filling up that whole area with your breath, fresh prana. Well done. And then turn that right hand around. Gently push the floor away. Take your time, come up, take a nice deep breath. Soften the shoulders. Good. And then let's swap over to the other side. So bring that right heel in, send that left leg out. Make sure both seats are anchored down, and then when you're ready, slide that left arm along, bring the right arm up and over. Breathing into the right side body. Good, and gently turn that left hand over, connect with the earth. Feel that contact as you push the floor away, come up, slowly release the hand. Take a moment, sit really still. Just notice the rebound of that pose. Deep breath in. Well done. Okay, making your way onto your back now. Yep, making your way onto your back. Your knees are bent, feet flat on the ground. Arms come out to the side. We're going to take a little side stretch here. So shimmy your hips to the right. Drop the knees to the left as you gaze to the right. Allow the shoulders to sink down. Feel the earth supporting you. Let your cells relax down into the earth. Good, and when you're ready, slowly bring the knees back to center. Take a moment, align the spine again. Take a breath, let everything sink down. Then we'll go to the other side. So send your hips to the left, drop your knees to the right and gaze to the left. Soften and let go. Good, and then gently bring the legs back to center again. Straighten your hips, align the spine. When you're ready, hug your knees in. Start to squeeze the knees in as you release the lower back. So maybe making some little circles, giving the lower back a massage one way and then the other. And then when you're ready, take your hands between the knees and bring them to the outside edges of the feet. Coming into your happy baby. Rolling around here a little bit. Release the lower back. You can send the lower back. Tilt the pelvic bowl down to the floor. See what that feels like. Your knees are moving towards the underarms. The head and shoulders are supported. Just breathing here. Nice little happy baby stretch. And then when you're ready, you can release, let go, and take a well-deserved Shavasana. So sending your legs out. Now you may like a blanket or an eye mask, depending on the temperature. Palms turned up, take up some space, and just let everything integrate, let everything relax down. All of the work you've done, soften the hips. Release the belly, maybe with an R sound, so inhale and then just let it all out. And let the whole body feel heavy and the mind soften and float for the final few minutes. Gently deepen the breath. Bring your awareness back into the body. Take your time to start moving your fingers and the toes. When you're ready, you might like to roll to the right side. Pausing for a moment, letting everything relax before you slowly use your left arm to help yourself up. Give your legs a little rub into the hips, rub into the lower back, rub your hands together, lace them over the face, softening, and then inhale, float your arms above the head, gathering strength and energy for the rest of your day. Exhale, hands to the heart space, sealing your practice with a primordial Om. Inhale. Om. And surrender to the grace of the universe. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have lovely, happy hips. And if you like this class, please comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know how it made you feel. And please subscribe to my channel. I've got lots of videos coming out. Thank you so much.